Grace and peace, and spoiler alert for the movie Force Majeure. My name's Ryan, I'm the movie pastor. I watch movies and I think deeply about them, and then I talk about those deep thoughts on the internet. I also preach and love Jesus. That's how I get paid. That's what I do full time. Anyway, I saw the movie Downhill in theaters, and after I saw it, I was a little confused. I didn't quite get why it was made, so I wanted to watch this movie, which is what Downhill was based on, and wow, this movie was much better and frankly much more nuanced. So the plot is largely the same as it was for Downhill. Tomas runs from an avalanche and leaves his family and then denies it, but the avalanche was just a test avalanche, so nobody gets hurt. And as a result of that, he immediately loses tons of respect in the eyes of the audience, and his wife distances from him and distrusts him and resorts eventually, when he won't give in, to needling him in front of company until, as in Downhill, he breaks down and he admits that he hates himself and everything that he is, and the fact that he's a coward and he doesn't want to be. And suddenly, within that moment, he becomes sympathetic in the eyes of the audience. Suddenly we get it. Yeah, of course he would. Of course he wouldn't want to live with himself. Of course he wouldn't want to be that person that we haven't liked. And so why would he like it? And it makes sense, and we all relate with it, I think. But Ebba, his wife, doesn't change her mind so easily, which leads to this final scene on the bus, which is this incredibly complex scene where, well, I'll discuss it later. And it finally leads to continued distancing of the marriage, to them getting along less and less. Sometimes someone is wrong and they're still the victim. The or a victim. Sometimes someone is right, and that's what makes them into an aggressor. And this can happen with violence, and it can happen with rhetoric. There's an incredible instance of this in the book of Esther, where Haman, who is like this cartoon villain, literally mustache twirly, he wants to kill all the Jews, but then it goes topsy-turvy, and as a result of that, all of a sudden the command to kill all the Jews gets turned on him, and he and all of his family are hung up on the same gallows. And the scripture records this long passage of all of the different kids of Haman who are killed by the new order, and it's gruesome. It's rough. It's sad. The tradition in the synagogue on Purim is to read that chapter as quickly as you can, get it over with. But the message becomes clear that the aggrieved can become the aggressor, that the people who were wronged when the tables turn have the same exact capacity to wrong. And so beware, because we see that. We see in Ebba that her own obsession with safety and security and doing the right thing leads her into her own downfall, where she gets off a bus and causes everyone to suffer and abandons her family as she gets off the bus to ensure her own safety. And in the same way, when you feel someone striking you on the cheek, watch out. Because at that moment is the moment when you are most at danger of the possibility of hitting them back. And if you do that, you'll both be wrong.
And when in scenes of glory I sing a new song, 'twill be